Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to the video of the day. This is December 14th, 2020. We're getting close to Christmas. We're getting close to a new year, and we're getting close to the end of this 2020. Very interesting year. But we're going to do some math. Today, we're going to talk about an arithmetic sequence, and we're going to be using money, so that'll make it a little more interesting. So I'm going to share my screen, and this is our problem today. I want to emphasize that every time we do a problem, we want to take a second and say, okay, these are the things that I want to do. I'm going to use the ISME. I want to identify what kind of problem it is, set it up, make sure I'm solving for the right thing, and then execute. How did I get this old? I made these corrections, so let's see if it's here. Okay, let's see if we got it right this time. Very nice. So in this problem, it says Dylan has 58 nickels in a jar. Every day he adds 5 nickels to the jar. How many nickels will there be in the jar at the end of 3 years? How much is this in dollars? All right. What I said at the beginning was this was an arithmetic sequence. So that's the type of problem. I wanted to remind you of our ISME. We want to stop and just kind of visualize that every time. So that stands for identify. We want to set up. We want to make sure that we're solving for the right thing. And then we want to execute our problem. So let's just think about what we're doing here. We know that at the beginning, we have 58 nickels. Now this is an important thing to watch, is that make sure your units match. So here they're saying every day, here they're asking for years. So we know we're going to need to do a conversion. So why don't we just do that right up front? So we have 3 years. And we know that there's 365 days in a year. All right, so how many days are we talking about here? So let's just do 3 times 365. And so 3 years is equal to 1,095 days. All right, we don't want to have to add these up one at a time. We know that we're starting with 58. The next day we're adding 5, so that's going to be 63. The next day we're going to be adding 5, so that's going to be 68, and we're going to do that 1,095 times. So that is, well, it's going to be cumbersome. So let's see if we can use an equation to do this. What we're going to do is to just, and drawing with a mouse is difficult, so just hang in there with me. We have let's erase that. We're going to have a sub n is going to be equal to a sub 0 plus n minus 1 times the delta. Let's just see if they happen to have that in the equation box here. Oh, they do. So we're going to put a delta sign in here. Make it even bigger. 32. Let's get rid of these two. Erase that. Okay, I just wanted to practice doing the equation, so we decided we're going to make this 32, so we're going to go right here and put in this delta sign. Perfect. All right, the delta is how much it's changing after each time increment. So let's figure out what we have. So what we know is that we want to figure out the amount. And we said this was after 1,095 days. So we're going to take the beginning amount, which was 58. We're going to take the number of days. So we're going to take 1095. And the delta is how much are we changing every day? So that's going to be 5. I guess I don't need to put it in twice. Let me just erase this. So what we wanted to do here was to say that this was equal to a sub 0, which was 58, plus, boy, I was focusing so much on trying to draw here that I screwed up the equation. This was the number of days minus 1 multiplied by the delta, which is 5. So this is going to be equal to 58 plus, this is going to be 1094 times 5. So that's 1094 times 5. That's going to be, I get 5470. I was needing to check my number here. And if I add that to my original amount, I'm going to get 5528. That's what I got the first time. So that should be good. All right. I did this from a problem that came from the ACT. This was one of the choices, so you would select that answer. And then I had no idea how much money this was, so I wanted to figure out, this is how many nickels I have. So I wanted to go in and say, okay, if that's how many nickels I have, I can multiply that by 0.05, and that will give me the number of dollars. So I'm going to say 0.05 equals, so this is equal to $276.4. So one of the things this illustrates is that we started out with 5 nickels, which is a quarter. Not a lot of money, but we started with a quarter and we added a quarter every day. If we did that, after 3 years, we'd have $276.40. So the point of this, or one of the points of this, is consistency. If you are consistent about adding a quarter a day, after 3 years, you'll have $276. So it pays to think a little bit about the future. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. I want you guys to have a great day, and remember, live with passion.